Hey guys! Part 9 of What If Naruto Was Haunted by Obito's Ghost. Hit like and subscribe if you like this one, and also please check the author in the description. Let's start. Chapter 41, Tsunade's Necklace, Naruto's Will. Shizen slowly walked towards Naruto. Is Naruto alright? Obito asked with worry. Of course he's alright, Sasuke insisted. This is Naruto we're talking about, he'll be fine, Shizen said with relief. It wasn't that much of an injury. Some of his ribs were broken, well, lots of his ribs were broken, but it wasn't anything I couldn't heal, thank goodness. But his injuries were slowly healing anyways. Was it because of the Kyuubi? It was enough to knock him out though, Shizen explained. Jiraiya breathed hard on top of the toad he had summoned. It was interesting fighting with you, Jiraiya. Oda Kimura chuckled. He looked at Naruto. It looks like he's too dangerous to leave alone. And this is a perfect chance to kill him. After all, sooner or later he's going to get caught by the Akatsuki. It's best to mess up their plans. I've been wanting to kill him for a while anyhow. He's helpless now, and no one is watching. No one strong, that is, but it's over now. Orochimaru continued on speaking. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Jiraiya growled. That's my line, Tsunade said, walking up to the two towering summons and their summoners. After all, I'm going to be joining the battle. Tsunadeheim? Jiraiya exclaimed. What? Interesting, Orochimaru muttered, but irritating. I'm still going to kill the Jinchuuriki. There isn't a better chance than now. Orochimaru swiftly jumped off the snake and flew past Tsunade's head. A sword came out of his mouth, aimed straight at Naruto's chest. Oh no! Tsunade thought in shock, her gaze turning towards Naruto. She raced towards Naruto. Shizen! Orochimaru! Shizen's eyes widened as she took in Orochimaru racing towards Naruto from the air. We're going to move, Naruto, Shizen said urgently. She dragged Naruto on the ground. Tsunade managed to reach Naruto. She turned to face Orochimaru, and his sword hit Tsunade's stomach. Orochimaru froze as he felt two different kicks hit his sides on opposite sides. He slowly looked at both of his attackers. You're dead, Obito declared in fury. You killed the Sannin, and now you're trying to kill Naruto. Don't try to kill my patient, Shizen snapped. And you hurt Tsunade-sama. Sasuke coldly looked on. He didn't do anything, except to place his hands into a hand seal. Stand back, he ordered. Katan, Gakakyu no Jutsu. Fire style, great fireball technique. Yak! Obito yelped, jumping back. Give us some warning, Sasuke-kun, Shizen complained, jumping back as well. Orochimaru quickly retrieved his sword and dodged the fireball. Sasuke-kun, don't you want power? Sasuke-kun, are you sure you should do that? Orochimaru demanded. I am the only one who can give you power, after all. Do you think I care? Sasuke growled. His cold eyes hid his inner doubt and turmoil. Is going to Orochimaru the only way to defeat him? Orochimaru frowned. It looks like I'm going to have to do a little bit of convincing to get Sasuke-kun to give me his join me. But that can wait. I didn't think you would try to protect such trash with your body, Tsunade, Orochimaru commented. It was a surprise. A surprise? Tsunade laughed weakly. She looked down at her gushing wound. My hemophobia really is healed, but still, this is beyond healing. I need to use that technique. What makes you think that? This guy here is the future Hokage. Tsunade smiled. And I am the Godame Hokage. Orochimaru's yellow eyes flashed with annoyance. Oh, really? Obito blinked and nudged Sasuke. Looks like Naruto's plan worked. His plan? Sasuke whispered. He wanted to get on good terms with the Godames so she would pick him for the next Hokage. Obito explained. From what Tsunade-sama said, looks like it worked. Sasuke rolled his eyes. Typical Naruto. Streaks of what seemed like paint came out from the purple diamond on Tsunade's forehead. Tsunade-sama, you aren't going to use that technique, are you? Stop. I'll heal you, Shizen objected fiercely. Ninpu, Suzu sensei. Ninja art, mitotic regeneration. The blood from her wound instantly stopped bleeding. It was healed. Orochimaru's eyes widened. How in the world did that work? Tsunade gave him a simple explanation about how her technique worked. Basically, it helped her recreate cells. Wow! Obito exclaimed. That's a super technique, but there's a limit to how many times a cell can divide and be recreated, Shizen murmured, looking towards the ground. She's shortening her life. What? Obito said in shock. Jiraiya's eyes took in the scene in front of him with surprising calmness. Tsunade. Well, at least I don't have to be the Godame. Okay. Time for me to step in. Kuchio's no Jutsu. Summoning technique. Jiraiya exclaimed. Kuchio's no Jutsu. Summoning technique. Orochimaru and Tsunade exclaimed in unison with Jiraiya. Oh. Sasuke, let's run! Obito exclaimed. He grabbed Naruto's legs and did something more similar to a waddling motion than running. Dragging Naruto was hard, after all. Sasuke rolled his eyes and grabbed Naruto's arms. The two of them managed to get out of the way quickly enough to avoid the slug that Tsunade summoned Ed. Shizen was right next to them. 3 gigantic animals appeared from a huge cloud of smoke. The first was Tsunade's summon, a gigantic slug called Katsuyu. Tsunade herself was standing on her. Secondly, Jiraiya's summon Gamabunta, the boss toad. Finally, Orochimaru's summon, Manda the snake. Is this a big reunion or something? Gamabunta demanded, looking around. But then again, it's probably something different. I said that kid was worse than you, but keep this up and you'll retake the position. Heh. Jiraiya laughed. Well, today's the day we'll finally do it. We'll defeat Orochimaru once and for all. You're acting high and mighty as usual. Gamabunta commented. Katsuyu. Will you help me? Tsunade cried. To defeat Orochimaru, of course, Tsunade-sama. Katsuyu smiled. What do you think you're doing, Orochimaru? Manda growled. Summoning me to a place like this. There better be something in it for me. I'll give you 100 sacrifices later. Orochimaru promised. It's dangerous summoning him right now. If he learns I can't use jutsu, he'll turn on me on an instant. But it's my only choice. Very well. Manda accepted the offer. I'm assuming you want me to kill those two? Yes. Orochimaru nodded. Gamabunta took the initiative and spat out fire towards Manda. Manda swiftly dodged the fire. Although he was quite big, he was quite fast. Katsuyu then spat out acid towards Manda, not giving him a chance to recover. Not that he needed it. Manda promptly slithered towards Katsuyu and hit her with his tail. Tsunade paled as Katsuyu fell towards the ground. Katsuyu! Tsunade cried. I am fine, Tsunade-sama. Katsuyu said weakly in her melodic voice. Gamabunta took his sword out and raced towards Manda. Manda turned towards Gamabunta and somehow managed to dodge the sword. Katsuyu managed to bring herself back up. She took a breath and spat out another bout of acid. It scraped the edge of one of Manda's sides. He winced slightly. What's the matter, Manda? You seem rather weak today. Gamabunta smirked. Shut up, weakling. Manda growled. I suppose it's a little hard fighting both of them at the same time. Manda opened his mouth wide, revealing sharp fangs. Manda lunged towards Gamabunta. Gamabunta brought his sword out and stabbed it straight into Manda's head just before he reached Gamabunta. Manda growled and slithered back. Orochimaru decided then to attack Tsunade. His tongue flew out to grab her. Tsunade flipped around and punched Orochimaru, straight in the face. He flew through the air, blood trailing after him. Manda looked at Orochimaru in disgust. This is the man I couldn't defeat? I would eat you right here and now, but this sword prevents me from doing that. Manda said from the side of his mouth. The next time you summon me, however, prepare to die. He disappeared with a puff of smoke. I'm going as well, Jiraiya. Gamabunta stated. He disappeared. Whoa! Jiraiya fell through the air. He landed on his feet heavily. Ouch! I shall be going as well, Tsunade-sama. Katsuyu murmured. She let Tsunade down, then disappeared in a puff of smoke. Orochimaru got up weakly. So what if you don't heal my arms? There is still one more option left for me. Kabuto walked up next to him. He regarded Sasuke, who was standing on the sidelines. Sasuke-kun. Orochimaru chuckled. You will come to me. He threw a smoke bomb onto the floor. Wait! Jiraiya and Tsunade cried. Jiraiya winced and grabbed his chest. Something's broken. Tsunade placed her hand on her face. The side effects of using that technique. They had no choice but to let Orochimaru and Kabuto escape. Naruto woke up suddenly. What happened? Took you long enough. Obito grumbled. He helped Naruto up. Sasuke kept quiet. He was still thinking about Orochimaru and what he said. Naruto-kun! Shizen exclaimed worriedly. You still aren't healed. How do you know? Naruto demanded. I feel fine. There's no way you could have recovered in that small time. Shizen cried. Even though Tsunade healed you, I'm fine. Naruto dismissed Shizen's worries. Tsunade and Jiraiya walked up to the four of them. Hey, Sannin. Naruto grinned. So, what happened? We defeated Orochimaru. Jiraiya summarized the events of the last half hour. Oh, okay. Naruto nodded. He smiled. Hey! I made a technique. Therefore, I get that necklace. Tsunade blinked. Is that true, Shizen? Shizen nodded. Tsunade sighed. She slowly took her necklace off her neck. I suppose I can put my hope into someone again, right? Dan? Nawaki? She placed the necklace onto Naruto's neck. Yes. Naruto grinned. Tsunade's hand started to tremble slightly and wrinkle. Whoa! You look your age! Naruto exclaimed. Tsunade covered her face with her hand. I'll be fine with a bit of sleep. Obito blinked with surprise. So that's what she actually looked like. Naruto crossed his arms. He was sitting in a booth at a restaurant along with everyone else. It had been a couple of days since the Orochimaru fight. So, Bakon's going to be Hokage? Naruto demanded. Don't call me Bakon, brat. Tsunade snapped. Don't call me brat, Bakon. Naruto shot back. Anyways, I said this before, but are Konoha's assets alright with her as the Godane? Aren't you a big gambler? True. Obito nodded. I suppose Tsunade-sama is sometimes like that. Shizen commented in embarrassment. More like, always like that. Jiraiya laughed. Don't worry, Naruto. Even as the Hokage, she still will only have access to a small amount of money. Tsunade muttered. Shizen paled. Tsunade-sama, you weren't actually considering. Let's go back to Konoha already. Sasuke said coldly. Yeah, I agree. Naruto grinned. After we eat, of course. He glanced at the menu. There's no ramen. Naruto whined. There was a short silence, then both Jiraiya and Obito laughed. Even Sasuke smiled slightly. Keyword slightly. There's just one thing. Obito said nervously. What? Tsunade blinked. The thing is, I'm dead. Obito explained, leaning back in his chair. What do you mean by that, Obito-kun? Shizen asked in confusion. You see, I met this god, girl, celestial being, and I came back to life. Obito simplified his story. It was easy to omit the ghost part. He came back as a ghost first. Naruto added. Tsunade nodded with interest. I see. Are you sure you weren't brought back with some sort of technique, like Orochimaru's? Pretty sure. Obito nodded. Tsunade looked at Obito worriedly. So, it doesn't seem like you have the typical symptoms of a head injury. Perhaps it's something deeper? I'm not insane. Obito complained. I'm telling the truth. I didn't believe it at first, but I met him when he was still intangible. He's telling the truth. Jiraiya backed Obito up. And plus, I remember when he died. He was the student of the Yondaime who was my student in turn after all. Yeah. Obito nodded, crossing his arms. Tsunade raised an eyebrow. It just looks like you've gone senile. Senile? Jiraiya cried offendedly. Sasuke sighed. I suppose I have to step in. We will never get back to Konoha otherwise. All of the Uchiha save me died. I remember. Sasuke said coldly. I know that he's an Uchiha. So, he must be either telling the truth or had escaped from the massacre 5 years ago. The mention of the massacre brought a depressed atmosphere down onto them. Tsunade coughed self-consciously. Okay. Fine. Let's assume that you're telling the truth, Obito. Obito turned to the side and mouthed yes. Now, what exactly would you like me to do? Tsunade demanded. It's not like I know what all of the duties and privileges that come with the role of Hokage yet. Couldn't you, I don't know. Obito admitted. Something? That's really specific. Sasuke muttered sarcastically. Why don't you just get Tsunade no Bakun to take care of all of that political stuff? Naruto suggested. And what makes you think I want to do that? Tsunade groaned. She clenched a fist. And secondly, if you call me Bakun again, you'll get a fist in the face. I'm being lenient, for now. But you don't want to get me angry. Yup. Naruto nodded, looking nervous. Well, just prepare yourself for a bunch of annoying political stuff. Jiraiya commented. Obito sighed. Okay, now that's over with. Let's go back to Konoha. Naruto grinned. He paused. After we eat lunch. He decided. Everyone groaned. The 6 shinobi walked into the gate leading into Konoha. And we're back. Naruto cried, punching the air. Did you have to do that? Sasuke groaned. We weren't gone for that long. Around a month. So what? Naruto retorted. He looked at Jiraiya. So, do we have to do a bunch of political stuff now? Jiraiya made a shooing motion. You can go. No, not you, brat. No, the other brat. Oh, whatever. Obito, stay here. Obito turned his head to the side in confusion. Why? Political stuff. Jiraiya explained. Tsunadeheim, let's go to the Hokage Tower now. No way. If Obito's staying, so am I. Naruto exclaimed. Right, Sasuke? Why am I in this? Sasuke demanded. Just because. Naruto smirked. It's alright, Naruto. Obito grinned. You can go. I'm sure everyone's wondering where you two are anyhow. Naruto blinked. But, do what you want, Dobe. Sasuke turned around and started to walk away. I'm leaving. Huh? Hey, wait a second, Sasuke. Naruto exclaimed, running after Sasuke. Do you know where Sakura-chan and Kakashi-sensei are? How am I supposed to know? Sasuke said irritably. The two of them walked off, their voices gradually getting softer. Well, now that they're gone, let's go to the Hokage Tower already. Jiraiya decided. I want to make it official that I'm not going to be the Godame. I'm leaving as soon as it's confirmed. That's the only reason you went to find me, isn't it? Tsunade sighed. Fine. Let's go, Shizen. Still, quite a surprise that you managed to convince her. Koharu commented. She was a gray-haired woman who used to be the advisor for the Sannin. Now, she would be the advisor to the Godame. They were standing on the rooftop of the Hokage Tower. Tsunade was looking out towards Konoha, Shizen right behind her. Hamura, another advisor, was standing next to Koharu, Jiraiya, and Obito. Nothing's too hard for the great Jiraiya-sama. Jiraiya chuckled. I just used my wonderful charm. Obito drawled. It was all Naruto, you know. Koharu turned her gaze towards Obito. And who are you? Jiraiya-sama has not exactly explained that yet. Obito looked nervous. Well, Tsunade-sama will explain that. Very well. Now, we must first call over the local lords to celebrate having the new Hokage. Koharu decided. Tsunade-sama. Tsunade turned around and walked towards Koharu. Yes? There is a huge backlog of paperwork that needs to be taken care of. Koharu explained. As the new Godame, your first job is to take care of that. Jiraiya grinned cheerfully. Goodbye then, Tsunade. He shunshined away. What should I do? Obito asked, looking at Tsunade. Tsunade looked grumpy. Why did I accept this job again? No, more importantly, how could I have forgotten the paperwork? You can go. Come back later. Tsunade snapped. Her eyes flashed dangerously. Obito paled and quickly left. Tsunade sat down onto the desk. She looked at the red Hokage hat in front of her. Do I have to wear this? Tsunade asked, picking up the hat. It's your choice. Koharu stated. She and Hamura were in the Hokage's office helping Tsunade learn how to do the work. As advisors, it was also one of their jobs. They did not like it much, but it was worth it for the power that came with the job. Yes, that's what I thought. Tsunade nodded. She placed the hat gently back onto the desk. Now, she looked at the paperwork with a resigned expression. I suppose I must get started. First of all, the Chunin exam paperwork. Hamura pointed at a tall pile of paperwork. As you probably know, Suna allied themselves with Orochimaru to attack Konoha in the middle of them. While the talks with Suna have been more or less finished, there is still the matter of the damage costs and other things. Tsunade flipped through a few pages. Other things? For example, the examiners decided that a few genin were ready to become Chunin. Koharu clarified. You need to make it official, okay? Tsunade placed the first piece of paper in front of her. It was a damage report. And it was full of words. The next time I see Jiraiya, he's dead. Chapter 42, Sound 4. And the Akatsuki, outside of Konoha, in an unknown place, lies a hideout. In this hideout, who would be hiding? The snake Sannin, Orochimaru, of course. Orochimaru chuckled. You four. Silhouettes of 5 people gradually melted from the shadows. It's time. Orochimaru's sickeningly yellow eyes flashed. Do you know what to do? One of the silhouettes spoke up. We must go to Konoha. Right, Orochimaru-sama? Another clarified. Yes. Orochimaru smirked. Yes. Go to Konoha. Go to Konoha, and retrieve Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto stared at the vest in his hands. What? He was in the Hokage Tower, Shikamaru and Sasuke next to him. They were also each holding an olive-green vest. Tsunade looked bored as she regarded the 3 new Chunin in front of her. You're Chunin. Congratulations. Tsunade smiled, leaning in. She was sitting on her desk. What's with the expressions on your face? Did you think no one would become Chunin? Yes. Shikamaru's eyes narrowed. After all, the exams were interrupted by the invasion. Yeah. And why is Shikamaru a Chunin anyhow? Naruto exclaimed. He lost, true. Sasuke agreed, weighing the vest in his hands. Tsunade sighed. Fine. I'll give you the explanation of why everyone became Chunin. She ruffled in the papers on her desk and handed Shikamaru a piece of paper. Naruto and Sasuke leaned in to regard the paper. Report, Hatake Kakashi, Jonin. I believe Uchiha Itachi's attack on. Oops. Tsunade grabbed the paper again. Wrong one. This one's the right one. She handed Shikamaru a different piece of paper. The damage had already been done, however Sasuke's eyes had already darkened at the mention of Itachi. First fight, Uzumaki Naruto vs Rock Lee. First contestant, Uzumaki Naruto. I note that Uzumaki Naruto successfully made use of both water and wind techniques, and that he has 2 chakra natures. Usually, one does not learn 2 chakra natures until one reaches Chunin. Another comment is the fact that he knew Shunshin. While coming late to the Chunin exams is not good, the fact that he knew Shunshin is quite interesting. On to the fight. Uzumaki Naruto utilized his seemingly large jutsu repertoire in a logical and intelligent way. The use of the Kage Bunshin to distract and weaken his opponent, while aiming at his opponent with wind ropes, was a good strategy. And his use of the surrounding water shield to trick his opponent into letting his guard down was a most Chunin-like maneuver. The fight was cinched when Uzumaki Naruto soused in injuring his opponent. Even as his opponent revealed inhuman speed, Uzumaki Naruto soused in thinking clearly, and using a good technique, the syrup capture field, to slow him down until his opponent fell unconscious. All in all, I believe Uzumaki Naruto is a good Chunin candidate. Naruto grinned. Oh yeah, Sasuke scoffed. The examiner must have liked you. As if. Naruto exclaimed. He just could see my strength. Shikamaru didn't comment as he flipped to another paper. Second fight, Uchiha Sasuke vs Hyuga Neji. First contestant, Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke showed much intelligence in not engaging his Hyuga opponent right out. As Hyuga can cause much injury and prevention of using jutsu, this was a very logical choice. He then continued on to use long-range jutsu and kunai and shuriken to weaken his opponent without endangering himself. But Uchiha Sasuke did not falter even in the face of a powerful Hyuga technique that rendered all techniques useless. He promptly used a powerful technique, known as the Chidori, to trap his opponent and force him into submission. While he did not show a giant jutsu repertoire like Uzumaki Naruto, his intelligence is obviously still quite high, and he showed much strength as well. Therefore, I recommend Uchiha Sasuke as a Chunin candidate. Naruto twitched. High intelligence. That examiner is smart. Sasuke smirked. Shut up, Sasuke! Naruto cried. They said that I have a better jutsu repertoire. Sasuke didn't say anything. His smug expression seemed to say more than 1,000 words could. Interesting. Shikamaru murmured. He skipped a page to his fight. Fourth fight, Gaara of the Sand vs Naruto Shikamaru. Second contestant, Naruto Shikamaru. While it is true that Naruto Shikamaru eventually lost, it is also true that his opponent may have been a little hard to defeat, as he was quite strong. Naruto Shikamaru soused in coercing important information out of his opponent. This would be quite useful had he been on a mission for information. After that, he soused capturing Gaara with a reasonably interesting strategy. However, after analyzing the situation, he chose the intelligent way of giving up. While giving up may be not a good quality for a Chunin, it was true that sometimes it is good to make a tactical retreat. From his intelligence, I believe that Naruto Shikamaru is a possible candidate for Chunin. Tactical retreat means running away, right? Naruto commented. Basically. Sasuke muttered. Shikamaru was pretty smart. I suppose. Shikamaru placed the vest on. I don't like it much. Becoming a Chunin is troublesome. But I suppose I don't have a choice. Naruto looked at the vest in his hands. I don't really want to wear this. Sasuke coldly looked at the vest. This vest is heavy and rather useless. You don't have to wear it if you don't want to. Tsunade sighed, looking up at the ceiling. Oh, good. Naruto grinned. You three can go now. Tsunade waved them away. Naruto. Can you get Obito? K. Naruto grinned. Obito? Shikamaru's eyes narrowed. If I remember correctly, that was the ghost that I overheard around a month ago in the park. Troublesome. Obito looked at Tsunade nervously. So, you were lucky. Tsunade said bluntly. Right now, Konoha is in a dangerous state to keep our status. We need to continue to take on missions. And for that, we need as many shinobi as possible. The two of them were in the Hokage's office, and Obito dragged out the word. What happened? Apparently, the Hokage has the power to make people a ninja. Tsunade explained. But someone coming back to life from the dead has never happened before, like you might guess. I wonder why just you. Tsunade mused, with a slight trace of bitterness. The council wants to see you. Tsunade stated quickly. They want to confirm your story, and the fact you're an Uchiha. Okay. That's a good sign, right? Obito said worriedly. Best case scenario, you become an official shinobi again, and everyone forgets about you. Tsunade explained. Worst case scenario, you either get experimented on or killed as a spy. Experimented on? Obito repeated in disbelief. Well, this is a shinobi village. Tsunade said dismissively. Obito twitched nervously. Tsunade looked at his face. Oh, but that's in the real worst case situation. It's more likely you'd get tortured as a possible spy or killed as a possible spy. Yes, and that's so much better. Obito drawled sarcastically. But the Hokage has the final say in everything. Tsunade explained. I'll make sure you won't get killed or tortured at the very least. Oh. Good. Obito sighed. Now. Tsunade stood up. Follow me. You know, I don't really want to follow you now. Obito muttered. Tsunade smiled fakely and turned around. She punched the wall. Did you say something? No. Obito quickly said. Obito stood in front of the council nervously. Hi, you claim that you are Uchiha. Obito? Koharu demanded. Yup. Obito grinned. Want me to prove it? Prove it? Koharu raised an eyebrow. Do you mean to show your Sharingan? I see that you don't have one of your eyes. This one's Kakashi's. Obito pointed to his missing eye. Hamura's eyes widened. You were the Uchiha who gave the Sharingan Kakashi his Sharingan? Not were. Obito corrected. And yeah. I did. Before I died, he activated his Sharingan. I see that the fact you're an Uchiha is at least true. Koharu murmured. When did you die? Oh, ages ago. During the Third Great Shinobi War. Obito shrugged. Naruto's 12 and I died a couple years before that. You didn't die during the massacre? Hamura inquired. If he wasn't part of the coup d'etat, he might be able to be trusted. Another loyal Uchiha would be quite useful, even if he only has one of his Sharingan eyes. Nevertheless, he can probably use it better than Kakashi, as he's an Uchiha. Very well, no. I died way before that. Obito answered. Hamura and Koharu exchanged glances. Very well. Hamura decided. We recommend letting this resurrected Uchiha to become a Konoha shinobi again. While it is still doubtful if he really is resurrected, it's certain that he's an Uchiha. We need all the shinobi we can have. Koharu added. Very well. I agree. Tsunade agreed. Obito sighed with relief. Tsunade shuffled through the paperwork on her desk absent-mindedly. So, Team 7. And one extra, Sakura, Sasuke, Naruto, and Obito were standing nervously in front of Tsunade's desk. What do you mean, one extra? Obito complained, crossing his arms. I'm currently replacing Kakashi, but you're weaker than Kakashi-sensei. Naruto pointed out. Whatever. Obito muttered in annoyance. Anyways, Tsunade-sama. Sakura looked up at Tsunade. Are we going to go on a mission without Kakashi-sensei? Kakashi is currently on an A-rank mission that you wouldn't be able to go on. Tsunade explained, placing her hands together. I'm sure you four will be able to handle a low C rank. A low C rank? Sasuke muttered. But we survived an A rank. Naruto complained. The key word is survive. Barely. Obito retorted. With Kakashi. Sure, you've gotten stronger, but it's best to start out with a low C rank. Right, Tsunade-sama? Correct. Tsunade nodded. She took out a scroll marked C. There's two choices. Firstly, escorting a merchant from Aragima town to Konoha. Secondly, getting rid of some wolves attacking the villagers of Ryuseki town. Let's go with the second one. Naruto decided. I agree. Obito nodded. We had such a bad time last time with Tazuna. Sakura agreed. Sasuke simply grunted as a response. Now 3 of you are Chunin. It should be pretty simple for you to complete the mission. Tsunade decided. She handed Obito a scroll. This is the map, and other important details. Try to finish it up as fast as possible. We really need to complete as many missions as possible at this point. Obito, your squad leader. How come? Naruto demanded. Surprisingly, he didn't complain about Obito being squad leader. We lost a lot of trust because of the invasion. We need to regain that trust by completing lots of missions. Obito summarized. I knew that. Naruto insisted. Whatever you say, Dobe. Sasuke muttered coldly. Sasuke-kun, is something the matter? Sakura said in confusion. Nothing. Sasuke retorted. Let's go. Obito looked at Sasuke worriedly. He isn't actually considering going to Orochimaru, is he? I thought Naruto had kicked it all out of him already. Maybe I should explain some more about how it's a bad idea to go to Orochimaru. How much is he going to worry me? Well, if he goes over to Orochimaru and betrays Konoha, I'll kill him myself. Literally. Before Naruto decides to spend half his life chasing after him in an attempt to bring him back to the good side. 10 silhouettes stood in a circle. They were in a dark cave. Itachi. Kisame. One such figure murmured. He had spiky hair. You failed to retrieve the Kyuubi? Yes. Jiraiya of the Sannin came in, an annoyance. Itachi stated coldly, I see. The same figure nodded. I believe that it was strange that you two would fail like that. I would have done it quickly and swiftly if Itachi hadn't got in the way. Kisame retorted, you two idiots. A different silhouette laughed. You don't understand art. What does art have to do with this? Kisame demanded. I would have blew this Jiraiya up, in an explosion. I wouldn't have run away with my tail between my legs from a kid and an old man. The silhouette explained. What did you say, Deidara? Kisame snapped. Stop arguing. The original figure ordered. Now, do you think we can leave the Kyuubi capture until later and first capture other tailed beasts? No. Itachi stated. He was not the complete idiot that we assumed he was. While he will probably be never any match for us, it is best to take care of him early on before he has time to grow stronger. I just want to get rid of that annoying kid already. Kisame agreed. Very well. The figure murmured. There was a pause as he assessed this information. Itachi. Kisame. The figure stated. Jiraiya is no longer in Konoha. I can assure that. Go and try to retrieve the Kyuubi again. Very well. Itachi nodded. Do not fail this time. The figure ordered. He disappeared. Yeah, don't. Deidara snickered before disappearing as well. The other silhouettes disappeared similarly. Let us go, Kisame. Itachi ordered. Kisame placed his sword, Samahata, on his shoulder. You don't have to say it. We're going to Konoha, right? The sky steadily darkened as the sun fell down. Streaks of purple and blue colored the multicolored sunset, and in the steadily darkening streets of Konoha, 4 shinobi flitted among the shadows. So, do you know where Uchiha Sasuke is? Kidomaru, one of the Sound 4, demanded. He was a black-haired boy with his hair tied back in a ponytail. We should break into the Hokage Tower first. Sakan decided. He was a gray-haired boy with lipstick on his lips. The security here sucks. We need to find out where Uchiha Sasuke lives and if he is currently on a mission or not. Yeah, it would be idiotic if we came here and Uchiha Sasuke wasn't here. Taiya growled. She was a red-haired girl with bandages wrapped around her head. Oh yeah? Jiruba nodded. He was a chubby orange-haired boy with hair sprouting from only 3 spots on his head. Shut up, fatso. Taiya snapped. You shut up. Jiruba retorted. The 4 shinobi continued on jumping in the shadows to the Hokage Tower. Sakan blinked. One of the windows are already broken. Good. Let's go in. Taiya snapped impatiently. Wait, Taiya, we need to try to not attract attention. Kidomaru pointed out. Shut up. No one's there. Taiya retorted. She jumped through the already broken window into the Hokage office. True to her words, no one was there, except for a huge, unorganized pile of paperwork on the desk, of course. The other 3 Sound 4 jumped into the room. Where do we start? Jiruba said in dismay, looking at the pile of paperwork. Maybe the scrolls that say D, C, and B ranks? Kidomaru drawled. Sakan picked the scrolls up and flipped through them. His eyes narrowed as he paused on the C rank scroll. Uchiha Sasuke is not in Konoha. He is on a mission. Sakan stated. Oh, come on! Taiya cried. Are we going to have to follow them? Yes. They're in Ryuseki town. Sakan read. That's not that far from Konoha. About 1 day's travel. Jiruba muttered. The 4 Sannin flew out the window swiftly. A chill flew up both Naruto and Sasuke's back. Is something the matter, Sasuke-kun? Sakura asked. Naruto? The 4 of them were walking along the road towards the town Ryuseki. Nothing. Sasuke muttered. I just had a chill. It's getting cold. Naruto grinned. Obito looked up at the sky. It's getting dark. We should rest for the night. They stopped, blissfully unaware of the danger closing in on them from both directions. Chapter 43. The Sound 4's Offer. Sasuke's choice. Naruto stretched, looking up at the tree branches stretching across the sky. A blanket fell off his chest. You're finally awake? Sasuke muttered, glaring at Naruto. He was leaning against a tree. Obito shot up quickly, the blanket flying off. He checked his watch. Okay, let's go. Naruto raised an eyebrow and started packing his blanket. This is your automatic I'm going to be late reflex, isn't it? I guess. But we should get up. Obito insisted, starting to pack up as well. Sakura, huh? Sakura blinked and looked around blearily. She rubbed her eyes. Is it morning? Yup, Sakura-chan. Naruto grinned. Come on, he jumped up cheerfully. How can you be so cheerful in the morning? Sasuke muttered coldly. Let me guess, Sasuke, you're not a morning person. Obito rolled his eyes. Sasuke grunted. He looked up at the sky with a bored expression. Sakura sat up and brushed off her knees in annoyance. We had to sleep in our clothes. I feel so dirty. No! Don't think like that. You have to start acting more shinobi-like. But acting shinobi-like doesn't mean I can't care about my appearance, right? And my personal hygiene? Don't act so girly like that. No, you are a girl. You can be girly and a kunoichi as well. Naruto waved her hand in front of Sakura's face. Oh? Sakura? Sakura-chan? You know, you're acting weird. Oh, I'm fine. Sakura smiled. She took a glance at Sasuke. Sasuke looked back, bringing his hand up absent-mindedly to yawn. Is everyone ready? Obito demanded. Yeah. Naruto hoisted his backpack on his back. Why are we following the path and not just going into the forest? Because we've never gone to the town we need to go to before, and so we need to follow the path. Obito rationalized. That was rhetorical. I was bored. Naruto rolled his eyes. Of course I know why. Really? Sasuke said sarcastically. Let's go already. Obito insisted. He started walking towards the path that peeked out from in between the trees. And by the way, I'm squad leader, so you have to listen to me. Is it my imagination, or are you enjoying being squad leader a little too much? Naruto complained, following Obito. I agree. Sasuke muttered. Well, I've never been squad leader before. Obito grinned. Really? Why not, Obito-san? Sakura asked in surprise. Practically everyone was a Chunin or Jonin back then. Obito muttered, scratching his head. So, you were too idiotic to be chosen to lead a squad? Sasuke retorted. You didn't have to put it that way. Obito snapped. But it's true, right? Naruto agreed. You too, Naruto. Don't tell you're going to start too, Sakura? Obito complained. The four of them started on the path. But if both Sasuke-kun and Naruto say so. Sakura laughed. Shut up. Obito muttered. The point is that I'm still squad leader, and technically you have to listen to me. Technically. Naruto agreed. A grin found its way onto his face. But seriously. Do you really think I'm going to listen to you? If we're in a life or death situation, I'm hoping you will. But I suppose that was a vain hope. Obito sighed. Naruto nodded with a smirk. So. Sakura took out the map from her backpack. She looked up to the sky and then looked back at the map. We're several hours away from the town we need to go to. Come on. This is going to be boring. Naruto groaned. Another 7 odd hours. Famous last words, Naruto. Obito retorted. Last time that happened, an A-rank ninja from the mist decided to attack us. Maybe we'll get S-ranked ninjas this time. Naruto drawled sarcastically. I hope nothing happens. Sakura said worriedly. Taiya groaned. The other three Sannin running beside her on the path didn't bother to comment. The four of them were running on the same path that Team 7 were on, swiftly catching up to them. So, any idea how much longer? Taiya demanded. No. Shut up. Jiruba muttered ill-temperedly. You shut up, fatso. Taiya snapped back. Taiya. We should reach him sooner or later. Kidomaru answered. And by the way, Taiya, that really sounded like something a brand new genin would say. Now you shut up, Kidomaru. Taiya retorted in irritation. Sakan's eyes narrowed as they moved forwards, sensing Team 7's chakra. Looks like we're nearly there. What's that? Obito blinked, turning around. Naruto stopped. What's oh? Sasuke's eyes narrowed. Shinobi. Oh no. Sakura stammered. Well, looks like you got your wish, Naruto. Obito muttered, grabbing a kunai. Let's hope they aren't S-ranked. For Shinobi flew in front of Team 7. Hello, Uchiha Sasuke. Sakan stated, narrowing his eyes. Sound Force Sakan, of the West Gate. North Gate's Tayuya of the same. Tayuya smirked. East Gate's Kidomaru. Kidomaru introduced himself. South Gate's Jirubu. Jirubu said, okay, but what exactly are you here for? Naruto demanded, frowning. His eyes widened as their words sunk in. Wait a second. Sound? Yes, sound. Tayuya drawled. You're Orochimaru's henchman. What are you doing here? Obito growled threateningly. He glanced at Sasuke. Don't tell me. They mentioned Sasuke, Uchiha Sasuke. We came to retrieve you, Sakan said. For Orochimaru. Retrieve? What does that mean? Sasuke demanded. We're giving you an offer. Kidomaru smirked. Come with us. Orochimaru-sama will give you strength. Tayuya smiled insincerely. Do you really think that you can get stronger by staying with them? Sakan asked rhetorically, gesturing at Naruto, Sakura, and Obito. Hey! Naruto complained. Come with us. Tayuya repeated. As Sasuke-kun? Sakura stammered, looking at the impassive face of Sasuke. Sasuke blinked once, and didn't say anything. Let me rephrase the statement. Sakan said coldly. A. Come with us willingly. B. Come with us unwillingly. Your choice. Are you stupid or something? Naruto snapped, clenching his fist. Sasuke wouldn't do something like that, right? Sasuke closed his eyes. I need power. That's true, but, no, wait. What am I saying? I must kill him. Then, the only thing to do is, Sasuke. Obito muttered. There's no fast way to power. And there's going to be a catch, obviously. Be logical, Sasuke grunted. He took a look at the shell-shocked face of Sakura and the irritated face of Naruto. Wait, irritated face? You guys. Naruto pointed at each of the Sound Four in turn. Are complete idiots. What did you say, retard? Tayuya growled. If you think Sasuke's going to come with you guys willingly, you are idiots. Naruto insisted. A smirk floated up on his face. And he's not going to come to you guys unwillingly. 'Cause I'd stop you. And so would Obito. And Sakura-chan. A tinge of doubt floated up onto Sasuke's impassive face. Fine, trump card. Obito retorted softly, sensing the doubts Sasuke had. If you betray Konoha right now, and that's what you'd be doing, you'll never see the Uchiha library. Sasuke twitched. Well, choose. Willing or unwilling? Sakan demanded. Sasuke closed his eyes. And a leg hit his back, making him stumble. He regained his balance and glared back at his attacker. In other words, Naruto. What did you do that for? Sasuke snapped in fury. You're taking too long. Hurry up and say no. Naruto retorted. It's my choice. Sasuke's eyes flashed. It's my choice. You don't understand what he means to me. I have to kill him, destroy him, Sasuke. Do you really think that this snake guy wants to give you power without a price? Naruto said logically. I bet he's a creeper who wants your body. Don't insult Orochimaru-sama. Tayuya growled. And for your information, he doesn't want your body. He wants your body literally. Wait, so he does want Sasuke's body? Naruto raised an eyebrow. And Sasuke, you're really considering going to Orochimaru? Sakura placed her hands together and looked up at Sasuke. Sasuke-kun. You're not really going to. Sasuke looked slightly embarrassed. One last time. Do you accept Orochimaru-sama's offer? Sakan demanded. Sasuke closed his eyes. I need to kill Itachi, but, wait, Orochimaru wants my body. Okay, that's just stupid. I would be more idiotic than Naruto if I accepted this offer, but still, Sasuke started. His eyes narrowed in determination. Accept. A shocked silence fell over the Konoha shinobi. Good. You decided to accept Orochimaru's generous offer. Tayuya smirked. Sasuke started walking towards the four Sannin. Sasuke! Naruto grabbed his shoulder. What do you think you're doing? Sasuke took a slight breath and turned towards Naruto. His eyes turned cold. I say this once, and I'll say this again. You just don't understand. Sasuke-kun! You can't be serious. Sakura cried. Please, Obito blinked. This isn't right. Something's wrong. Or maybe I just want something to be wrong. Sakura. Naruto. Get out of the way. Sasuke turned around and continued on walking towards the Sannin. Naruto stood stock still in shock. Good. Sakan smirked. Now let's go. Very well. Sasuke said. Then lightning started gathering in his hand as he turned around again. Are you going to kill them? Kidomaru demanded. Kill them? Sasuke repeated. A smirk came up on his face. Yes, are you crazy? Naruto exclaimed in shock. He took a step back. His eyes narrowed. Fine, then, if you want to be like that. A full-blown Chidori formed in his hand. Sasuke took a step forwards, then flipped around and slammed the Chidori straight in Sakan's chest. Sakan's eyes widened as he looked down at the hand stabbing his chest. Sasuke withdrew his hand slowly as blood dripped from his hand. Sasuke jumped back to the Konoha shinobi. I knew that there was something wrong. Obito grinned. Naruto let the half-formed Rasengan in his hand die down. So, what? You aren't betraying us, Dobe. Sasuke smirked. Did you really think I would do that? Sakan withdrew into his body. Yukon, you take over. Got it. A voice murmured. So it came to that then? Kidomaru commented. Time to convince him. Tayuya smirked. She brought her flute out and placed it on her lips. You know, that was a good idea, pretending to accept their offer. Obito muttered. Shut up. Sasuke said coldly. Gee, someone's touchy. Obito retorted. Don't tell me you actually wanted to accept their offer? When we get out of this. Sasuke murmured. You better show me where the Uchiha library is. Yes, got it. Obito rolled his eyes. Itachi and Kisame flew through the trees, branches falling to the ground with a crack. So, what are we going to do if the Jinchuruki isn't in Konoha? Kisame demanded. If he is not, he will eventually return. Itachi said coldly. It will be reasonably easy to find him when we get close to him. We can do the same thing as last time, sense him to pinpoint him, I guess. Kisame admitted. His shark-like eyes narrowed. What's that? The two Akatsuki stopped, balancing on a tree branch easily. Slight chakra surges came out, indicating the fact shinobi were fighting. Itachi's eyes narrowed. We should check this out. Kisame muttered. Yes. Itachi agreed. The two of them raced forwards. Chapter 44. Sakura's comeback. Akatsuki's arrival. A smirk flew onto the girl's face. She turned towards the Shinigami who was sitting next to her. He had a disgruntled expression on face. Well, something that resembled a disgruntled expression. It was kind of hard to tell on a non-human face. So, the girl drawled. He didn't betray. Yes. The Shinigami muttered. And so, the girl smiled. The deal? Not yet. The Shinigami said defiantly. And why not? Do you not want to admit your defeat yet? The girl demanded in irritation. It is not set in stone. The Shinigami insisted. He still may betray. I still think you just do not want to admit your defeat. The girl murmured. She raised her voice. Very well. We'll wait a little longer. But sooner or later, you will admit your defeat. The Shinigami turned back towards the window to the living world. Naruto glared at the sound for. You're so dead. Calm down, Naruto, we need a plan. Obito snapped. I agree. Sasuke said. Really? Obito said in surprise. Naruto. You hit the one on the side with a Rasengan, and I'll hit the one on the other hand with a Chidori. Sasuke decided. Obito groaned. Seriously, I like the plan. Obito, do you have any other ideas? Naruto demanded. There's two more, in case you forgot. Obito retorted. He paused. Wait a second. I thought that lipstick guy, Saka or something, got hit with a Chidori. How can he be healed? Kekii Genkai? Sakura suggested, frowning. Probably. Obito muttered. Okay, fine. Naruto, you take lipstick. Sasuke, you take ponytail. Fine. Naruto sighed. Sasuke grunted as an answer. Okay then. Obito decided. I guess I have to take the fatso. Sakura. Can you distract the tomato head? Naruto, Sasuke. As soon as you finish fighting, if you're still strong enough, try to help Sakura. I'm fine by myself, Obito-san. Sakura insisted unconfidently. Her eyes looked to the ground nervously. Obito opened his mouth as to object, then noticed movement in the corner of his eye. Get ready! Obito cried, noticing that the Sound Four were running forwards. He laughed slightly on the inside. Well, of course they aren't going to wait nicely for used to wait talking. Stupid me, okay. Naruto grinned and jumped at Sakan, his hands in a hand seal. I'll go along with your plan, Obito. I sensed sarcasm. Obito muttered. He grabbed a kunai as well. Sakura paled as she looked at Tayuya running towards her. She brought her hand to her pouch and her eyes narrowed. I may not be strong like Naruto and Sasuke, but I'm sure I can do at least something. Sasuke looked at Kidomaru coldly. Several thoughts ran through his head, but nothing understandable to anyone else. His eyes blinked once. I can do one more Chidori. I better try to get him a good spot to hit him. His eyes blinked another time, turning red. That guy has no chance. Sasuke ran towards Kidomaru, a kunai in his hand. So? Obito scratched his head, looking at Jirubu in front of him. You're a ninja? And not the Akimichi kind. Don't compare me with the Akimichi clan, those fatsos. I'm much stronger than them. Jirubu growled. I won't even have to use my curse seal to defeat you. Curse seal? Obito's eyes narrowed. So, Orochimaru bit you. He did not. He felt that I was worthy to receive the power of the curse seal. Jirubu corrected. By biting you. Obito pointed out. I really don't feel like doing conversation with someone who's going to be a dead corpse. Jirubu retorted. He got in a fighting stance. Bring it on, fatso. Obito snapped. Jirubu froze. His eyes narrowed in anger. I am not a fatso. Yes, you are. Obito said rationally, looking at the flabby body of Jirubu. I considered killing you less painfully. Jirubu growled. But that comment sealed your fate? Obito cut in with a grin. He couldn't resist. His hands fell into a hand seal as his Sharingan activated. Sorry, Sasuke. But you were standing right in front of me as you trained, and you stole lots of Naruto's techniques. Katan, how Senka no Jutsu? Obito called out. Fire style. Phoenix Sage fire technique. Black marks swirled up Jirubu's face and he slammed the floor. Rubble flew up. He looked up at Obito with a glare. Obito returned it with a small smirk. If there was one thing he was good at, it was annoying people. Sakura took a deep breath and looked at Tayuya. She took a glance at her teammates several meters away from her. She held up her kunai defiantly. Do your worst. Oh, I will. Tayuya retorted, taking her flute out from her pouch. I am going to teach you that civilians like you aren't suited for this world. How do you know I'm not a civilian? Sakura demanded, stung by the remark. She shook her head fiercely. No, I'm not a civilian anymore. I'm a shinobi. Ignore her. Believe in yourself. A voice cried in Sakura's head. What do you think you're doing, with your pink hair? Tayuya scoffed. She placed her flute to her mouth. Enough talking. I'll get you along with all of your teammates. Sakura jumped at Tayuya. I don't know what she's about to do, but I have to stop her. Tayuya easily sidestepped Sakura's jab. Although Sakura had managed to distract Tayuya for a moment, Tayuya sighed and placed her flute back into her pouch. I suppose I might as well take care of the gnat in front of me first of all. A vein pulsed in Sakura's head. No, worse than that. What's worse than that? Trash, I guess. Tayuya retorted. A part of Sakura's mind that had been covered up by uncertainty and unconfidence broke out of her self-induced shield. After all, even Sakura couldn't take these insults. Her anger let it free. It, referring to inner Sakura, of course. Naruto stared at Sakan. Then he piped up. Hey! How come you're still alive? Naruto demanded. Sasuke hit you with a Chidori. My brother is resting. Sakan said. Naruto frowned. Your brother? So the one who was hit by the Chidori? What happened to him? Who are you? He's resting. In my body. I am Yukon. The newly revealed Yukon answered. Okay. I guess it's true that people go crazy after a while in the shinobi business. Naruto muttered. He placed his hands into a hand seal. Futon. Kaze no Nawa no Jutsu. Wind ropes technique. Naruto snapped. Yukon easily moved forwards towards Naruto, his fist swiftly hitting Naruto's stomach. Naruto hit a tree behind him. It fell down with a crash. He spat out a sliver of wood from his mouth and stood up. He's fast. But I've fought fast people before. Hey, practically everyone I've fought was fast. Still, that hit was strong. Let's go with the same strategy as with Lee. Sway Tun Mijirim Nabera. Syrup capture field. Naruto murmured, a spurt of sticky water flowing out of his mouth. Yukon scoffed and swiftly jumped into the trees, the syrup not reaching him at all. Naruto muttered. Then he noticed someone moving, or rather not being able to move. Oops. Sasuke tried in vain to get out of the sticky syrup that Naruto had put on the ground. Kidomaru laughed mockingly. You were caught by your own ally's technique? Very smart. I'll beat him up about it later. Sasuke growled. You won't have a chance to. Kidomaru retorted. He started walking lazily towards Sasuke. After all, you'll be with Orochimaru-sama. That's what you think. Sasuke muttered. Kidomaru smirked, seeing his win already. Still, what an idiot. I can't believe Orochimaru-sama wants you. Sasuke kept a blank look on his face. You're the idiot for not finishing up this battle already. You do realize that I can move? My movements are just restrained a little, and that the syrup water is right in front of you. If you take another step, you'll land right in it. Well, it's perfectly fine for me. Come closer. In fact, I think you're quite weak. Kidamura continued, stopping at the edge of the sticky ground. Sasuke brought one foot off the ground slightly. Now, how should I take care of you? Kidamura smirked. That's not the question you want to ask. Sasuke retorted. Then what should I ask, HM? Kidamura demanded. You should ask how you're going to heal the hole in your chest. Sasuke said coldly. There isn't a hole in my chest. Kidamura pointed out. He smirked. Are you trying to say that you're going to put a hole in my chest? Sasuke looked coldly at Kidamura and channeled chakra to his feet to attempt to facilitate walking. As soon as he makes a move, I'm making my move. Obito took a glance at Sasuke's predicament and shrugged. He's probably fine. I mean, he just got the excess of Naruto's jutsu. Still, Naruto needs to be more careful. He turned back towards his opponent, Jirubu, who was currently furiously glaring at him. Bring it on, fatso. Obito smirked, standing in a taijutsu stance. Jirubu growled as he raced at Obito. Do those tattoos serve any purpose? Obito demanded, jumping backwards to dodge Jirubu's jab. Or are they just decorations? Jirubu easily caught up with Obito and aimed a punch at his chest. Obito dodged Jirubu's punch, his Sharingan spinning. He quickly aimed a jab back towards Jirubu. Jirubu easily blocked Obito's jab, but Obito didn't falter. He countered with a series of continuous hits. I can read his movements. Enough of this. Jirubu growled. He jumped back and placed his hands on the ground. Earth flew up in a circle around Obito. Obito paled. I have a bad feeling, let's get out. But as soon as Obito attempted to leave the circle, walls flew up to prevent Obito from escaping. Obito looked around his new surroundings. There's chakra flowing in the walls. Wait a second. There's two different types of chakra. Obito looked down at his hand and gathered a bit of chakra. It's my chakra in the walls. The chakra that Obito had gathered flew up to the walls. It's absorbing my chakra. I need to get out of here quickly. I'm not Naruto. I don't have near unlimited chakra reserves. Obito put his hands into a hand seal and looked towards the walls defiantly. Sakura, meanwhile, was being oblivious to everything. She was too furious with Tayuya. Trash this, trash that. Sakura growled. I'm not trash. Did you snap? Tayuya laughed. Sakura raced towards Tayuya, aiming her punch straight at her head. Tayuya easily dodged the punch, then winced slightly as Sakura kicked her in the stomach. Well, that slightly stung. Tayuya scoffed. Sakura continued on trying to punch Tayuya. Some managed to hit Tayuya, but most were easily dodged. Is that it? Tayuya demanded. Well, it's my turn now. Tayuya punched Sakura straight in the stomach, pushing her to the ground. Sakura coughed up blood, staining her shirt with darker splotches. She tried to get up, but Tayuya placed her foot on Sakura's chest. You're trash. Nothing more, nothing less. Well, perhaps something less. Tayuya stated. She pushed down, causing a yelp of pain from Sakura, and nothing will change that. Tayuya stated. Nothing. Sakura squeezed her eyes shut. Is that true? Kidamura mushed around a thick golden liquid in his mouth, then spat it out. He formed it into a bow and arrow. It's over. Kidamura stated. Sasuke raised his eyebrow. Is that some sort of spider thread? Correct. I guess you aren't too dumb. Kidamura said, drawing his arrow back, aiming it at Sasuke. Sasuke got ready to move. Well, it's either I manage to dodge the arrow and kill him, or I don't, and he kills me. I would like to kill you, but unfortunately Orochimaru wants you. Kidamura sighed, throwing down his bow. He brought his attention to his hand and spider threads formed. Sasuke scowled and jumped at Kidamura, drips of syrup water falling down from his sandals in a final attempt to keep Sasuke caught. It's now or never. He's getting ready to try to capture me. Kidamura dodged Sasuke's punch easily. Is that it? Kidamura demanded, his spider threads swirling out towards Sasuke. Sasuke moved to the side and charged towards Kidamura again. The spider threads flew past him, then started turning back with frightening speed. It's hopeless, you realize? Kidamura demanded, moving to the side to dodge Sasuke. It's not hopeless, Sasuke said, his Sharingan spinning. He placed his hands into a hand seal. I can distract him with a moment with this genjutsu. Kidamura blinked, looking around his new surroundings, which seemed like a small box. He instantly realized that a genjutsu had been cast on him. Kai! Kidamura snapped. Release! The genjutsu melted away, just in time to see Sasuke stab a Chidori in his chest. Naruto regarded the sticky field of syrup water in front of him. Well, that backfired. He then looked at Sasuke, who currently had his hand in Kidomaru's chest. Looks like Sasuke's finished. He looked around for Obito, then gave up and looked at Sakura. Oh no. Sasuke, hurry up and finish, because I can't do anything right now. Naruto turned towards Yukon, who was crouching in a tree. Bring it on! Naruto exclaimed, placing his hands into a hand seal. Oh, I will. Yukon said coldly. He jumped down towards Naruto. Futon, Fudate no Jutsu. Naruto muttered. Wind style, wind shield technique. His mouth twitched in amusement as Yukon ran into the invisible shield. Futon, Kaze no Yaiba. Naruto quickly stated. Wind swords. Yukon flipped around in midair in an act of amazing acrobatics. Unfortunately for him, even amazing acrobatics couldn't save him from invisible swords. They clipped his body in several spots. Yukon landed on the ground, his hand touching the ground to regain his balance. Naruto's eyes flashed. Rasengan! A swirling sphere of chakra formed in his hand and he lunged towards Yukon. Yukon muttered, quickly jumping up and to the side. Naruto didn't falter. He adjusted his direction slightly and continued towards Yukon. Yukon stopped to face Naruto. Black marks swiftly flew up his face, then covered his entire body to make him a color of brown. A horn protruded from his forehead, and fangs came out from his mouth. He stood his ground. I don't know what that technique is, but it won't hurt me as much when I merge with Sakan and in my level 2 curse seal form. Not to mention that kid will be in a situation of weakness as soon as he hits me. Naruto hit Yukon in the chest. Blood fell, falling in torrents. It wasn't dripping, it was falling. Yukon looked at his chest in shock. His curse seal form fell away. Sakan and Yukon melted away from each other, each with a gigantic hole in their chest. Whoa! I guess you really were actually a different person, Naruto said in astonishment, looking down at the two brothers with quite a bit of disgust. He turned away. Sakura stared up at Tayuya and clenched her fists. Tayuya's foot was still on Sakura's chest, painfully pushing. I've got to get out. She's going to kill me. Sakura clenched her teeth and kicked up. Tayuya laughed mockingly and simply brought a kunai out. Time to finish this up, I suppose? Tayuya said. She leaned down to Sakura's face. Trash. Sakura defiantly spat in her face. She brought her hand to her pouch and clenched a kunai. Why you dash? Tayuya growled, jumping up. Sakura stabbed the kunai in Tayuya's leg, causing a yelp of pain from the other girl. Sakura swiftly stood up and jumped away from the wincing Tayuya. Sakura brought out several more kunai and threw them at Tayuya. Tayuya still managed to dodge them, even with one injured leg. You'll pay for that. Tayuya snapped. The two of them froze suddenly as a cold voice echoed in the clearing. This explains the chakra surges. Itachi and Kisame looked around the clearing. Itachi stared straight at Naruto. The Jinchuriki is here, Itachi stated coldly. He looked around some more. I suppose we're going to have to take care of the rest, Kisame commented, bringing his sword out. He placed it on his shoulder. Jiruba let his hand go down from the dirt pile, and it fell down around Obito. Obito looked around with more than a little bit of relief, his hands on his knees. Sasuke clenched his fists and glared fiercely at Itachi. Why? Why? I can't even use a Chidori, I don't have enough chakra. Why is he here? Naruto froze as he looked up at the two silhouettes in the shadows of the trees. He gradually recognized the two figures. The Akatsuki? Naruto stated in mute shock. Why are they here? He looked at the ground. Not that I can't guess. They're here for me. Why else? Chapter 45, Sound 4's Demise, Team 7's Escape. Tayuya looked up at the Akatsuki with slight nervousness. Well, perhaps a little more than slight. A lot of nervousness. Scratch that. Downright fear would be a better word. She frowned. Why haven't Sakan or Yukon started to talk? She took a look around the clearing and froze. She noticed Yukon and Sakan on the ground, blood pooling around them. She noticed Kidomaru fallen on the ground with a hole in his chest. Jirubu? What about Jirubu? We're in trouble. Jirubu muttered, slowly walking up to Tayuya. Obviously, Fatso. Tayuya snapped. A bead of sweat dripped down her face. She bit her lip unconsciously. Shut up. Jirubu retorted, looking at the two Akatsuki, then back at their three teammates on the ground. How could that loud-mouthed blondie and that idiotic Uchiha defeat Yukon, Sakan, and Kidomaru? Well, he does have the Sharingan. Tayuya growled. But there's a more important issue right now. Assuring the Akatsuki that we aren't an enemy, and all we want is the Uchiha. Will that work? Jirubu whispered back. If they aren't the homicidal type. Unfortunately for us, apparently most Akatsuki are homicidal. Tayuya muttered. Why are they here? If at first you don't succeed, destroy all evidence that it ever happened. Jirubu encouraged. How encouraging, Fatso? And how exactly are we supposed to do that? Tayuya snapped. I don't know. Jirubu snapped, stepping back. Fine. Tayuya whimpered. She looked up at the two Akatsuki and raised her voice. Hello? We have nothing against you. All we want is Uchiha Sasuke. Could you go on your way? Itachi looked at Sasuke with an indifferent expression. It would be an annoyance and a waste of time to fight both these two and the Jinchuriki. Still, judging by their attire, they are Orochimaru's henchmen, most likely. I see. Orochimaru couldn't get me, and so he wants Sasuke. Kisame. We have no need to fight with them. Itachi said coldly. We need to complete our mission, and there is no need to jeopardize it, no matter how minor. Personally, I'd just prefer to kill everyone and get rid of any witnesses. Kisame said logically. True, but nevertheless. Itachi murmured. Who do you work for? Kisame demanded, his fish-like eyes narrowing. He looked towards the two remaining Sound 4. Orochimaru-sama. Tayuya answered. If it were possible, Itachi's face grew even colder. I agree with you, Kisame. Oh, just great. Tayuya muttered. Stop, Sasuke. Naruto said, desperately attempting to hold Sasuke back from jumping towards Itachi. He held Sasuke's arms behind his back. Shut up, Naruto. Sasuke snapped. Let me go, you shut up. Did you forget what happened last time we met those people? Naruto retorted. He paused. Well, in the loosest tense. The fish guy is more fish than person. Not that I have anything against fish. Sasuke clenched his fists but stopped struggling. Hi, you two. Problems? Obito asked with an air of false cheerfulness. Sweat beaded on his head. I have a sneaky feeling that they're not supposed to look that blurry. I think that I lost too much chakra. Problems? You could say that. Naruto muttered, glaring at Sasuke. Sasuke glared back. Fine. Naruto, let Sasuke go. Obito ordered. Naruto looked at Obito skeptically. Let him go. Obito repeated. Naruto muttered. Wait, where's Sakura-chan? Right here. Sakura answered. She was weakly standing up. Tayuya had done more damage than she had thought. Sasuke looked towards Sakura. He blinked. It looks like Sakura got hurt. Are you alright, Sakura-chan? Naruto asked. I'm fine. Sakura quickly answered. Hey, I think the Akatsuki are currently distracted. Obito said. He gestured towards the two Akatsuki who were currently regarding Jirubu and Tayuya with icy glares. True. But what about when the Akatsuki stop looking at them and start on their real mission? Naruto demanded. Capturing you? Sasuke said coldly. Sorry. Naruto muttered. Obito sighed. You know what to do, right? Engage them in battle? Naruto suggested. No. Run. Obito snapped. They're two S-rank shinobi. We need to run away while they're distracted. I agree, Obito-san. Sakura said, her eyes darting towards the two Akatsuki, not to mention the fact that we're also minorly or maybe even quite a bit injured. Obito pointed out. While Naruto has practically unlimited chakra reserves, the rest of us are running out of chakra. We wouldn't be a match for the Akatsuki on a good day, definitely not right now. Sasuke and Naruto both looked like they were about to disobey Obito. Come on! You have to be logical here. There's no way you can beat those two. Obito pointed out. As much as you two would love to, well, probably, mostly Sasuke wants to, we don't even have Kakashi with us. We can't beat them, so? Naruto demanded. That didn't stop us before. With Zabuza, I mean, in case you forgot, it was Kakashi who beat the Demon of the Mist. Obito sighed. You two beat Zabuza's apprentice. I beat a Jinchuriki. Gaara. Naruto retorted, and those people captured Jinchuriki. Obito retorted. Naruto twitched. Listen to me. Obito said convincingly. I refuse to leave when he's right there. Sasuke growled, gesturing towards Itachi. Well, it's either stay and die or leave and maybe live. Obito said. Your choice. Obito crossed his arms and stared at the two of them, as if daring them to object. Jirubu growled and slammed his hands onto the ground. Urs surrounded Itachi and Kisame, covering them up. He smirked as chakra started to pour into his body. He was smirking until a sword flew out of the earth, breaking it completely. Oh, great! Jirubu groaned, watching Itachi and Kisame easily escape and head towards them. Itachi flashed his Sharingan before Jirubu could look away. Jirubu froze as he found himself in a gray world. He took a glance around, and discovered that he seemed to be floating in midair. Jirubu paled as Itachi appeared in front of him. For the next 2 days, you will slowly burn to death. Itachi whispered. A single flame came into existence on Jirubu's feet. He paled, feeling the flames starting to take effect. No. Jirubu murmured in fear. Itachi faded from his vision. Jirubu fell to the ground, breathing hard. Sweat covered his body. Jirubu? What happened, you fatso? Taiyuya demanded, looking at the frozen figure of Jirubu. Don't look at his eyes. Jirubu said, his voice a notch lower than usual. Sharingan has genjutsu. Of course. Taiyuya growled. Fine. I'll take care of them myself. Taiyuya stood up, looking towards the ground. They say to fight fire with fire. Well, I'll fight genjutsu with genjutsu. She swiftly placed her flute on her lips and let out a melody. She closed her eyes, concentrating as hard as she could. With luck, this'll take care of those Konoha ninja as well. Itachi flashed his eyes, easily breaking the genjutsu over him. He walked over to Taiyuya, who was concentrating on casting her genjutsu over everyone with her music. But nevertheless, she wasn't one of Orochimaru's top henchmen for nothing. Her eyes flew open, noticing that Itachi had easily broke her genjutsu and was heading towards her. She let her genjutsu go and jumped back. She took a deep breath. I'm fighting against 2 S or SS ranked ninja. And one of them has the Sharingan. It's obvious my weaker genjutsu is no match. I need to calm down and think. In this case, it's best for me to not fight them directly. I need to summon my doki. Summoning technique. Taiyuya slammed her hands onto the floor, black marks swirling out from her hand. A cloud of smoke flew out as 3 beings appeared. The first had hair covering its entire face. It wielded a large, metal club threateningly. The second had scars covering its head and wore a blindfold. Nevertheless, it still managed to look frightening, with weapons attached to his hands. The last had its head in a strange position. It did not wield any weapon, but instead had spikes protruding from its body in seemingly random places. All 3 had one thing in common, the fact they all looked like something from a nightmare. Taiyuya played her melody, causing the beings to jump out towards Itachi and Kisame. Itachi frowned slightly. Those beings do not seem like something I can cast genjutsu on. No importance. I can easily use something other than that. I'm not going to just sit around here. Kisame scoffed. He brought his sword out and ran towards the 3 beings. Kisame, Itachi said sharply. There's no time for this. Our main objective is escaping. HM? The Jinchuriki? Kisame blinked, noticing the empty clearing. I see. Well, I would love to fight with you some more, but too bad. Kisame and Itachi jumped after Naruto. Taiyuya blinked and stopped playing her flute. Jinchuriki? Does that mean one of Uchiha Sasuke's teammates is a Jinchuriki? More importantly, I may have managed to escape death by Akatsuki, but nothing will stop my death by Orochimaru-sama, especially since I failed to retrieve Sasuke. Jirubu is alive but in some sort of twitching state. Yukon and Sakan are both probably dead, and not to mention Kidomaru. I might as well just turn myself into the Konoha ninja than going back to Orochimaru-sama. But nevertheless, I must return to Orochimaru-sama to report to him the results of the mission, and I am not carrying Jirubu there. Unfortunately for you, Fatso, you'll have to take care of yourself. Taiyuya stood up and jumped in the opposite direction that the Akatsuki had left. Obito sighed in relief, as they raced through the trees towards Konoha. I suppose even Sasuke quenched his thirst for revenge once he realized that it was impossible to kill Itachi at his current level. Still, I sure do hope he isn't regretting not accepting Orochimaru's offer. Naruto, on the other hand, seems to be grudgingly accepting that the best thing to do right now is to run. I mean, it's obvious that we can't beat them. At least Sakura doesn't argue. She seems to be resigned, almost. And I think we have about as much chance to escape from 2 SS rank ninja as we have the chance to win against 2 SS rank ninja. Naruto piped up. Shut up, Naruto. You don't know until you try. Obito groaned. When they catch up to us, what are we supposed to do? Sasuke demanded in irritation. Keep on running? I refuse to do that a second time. In fact, if I still had the chakra to form a Chidori, I would have fought at him right there and then, but I still refuse to do something that demeaning for a second time. If they catch up to us, we need to try to get one of us back to Konoha for reinforcements. Obito sighed. That makes sense. Sakura thought, looking around in worry. It took us a day and a bit to get to where we were. Sasuke pointed out. There's no way we're going to outrace them. Yup. Naruto agreed. Why do you always agree on things like that? Obito complained. Sakura paused in her running for a moment, stopping to take her breath. She placed her hands on her knees. Her chest ached with the pain from the injuries Taiyuya had inflicted on her. Are you alright? Obito asked, noticing that Sakura had stopped. I am fine, Sakura said, standing up. Obito glanced anxiously behind them. There was still no sign of the Akatsuki. But how long will our luck last? Itachi and Kisame raced through the trees. Itachi's feet hit the branches with a crack. Itachi paused and glanced down to the ground, noticing the painfully obvious traces of footsteps on the ground. They're unexperienced, Itachi mused to himself. Most experienced shinobi would think to cover their tracks, especially when being chased by other shinobi. It appears that Kakashi is not with them. Neither is Jiraiya. There should be no problems in capturing the Kyuubi Jinchuriki this time. We should catch up to them soon, Itachi said, continuing to race through the trees. Kisame nodded, his eyes narrowing. And this time, that annoying kid won't escape. Obito stopped. He glanced back anxiously and regarded the trees. They did nothing but rustle menacingly. Even the crickets weren't chirping. We need to split up, he muttered. What, Ash? Did you say something? Naruto demanded. We need to split up, Obito repeated more loudly. It'll give us a higher chance of escaping. Maybe run through some streams as well. I completely forgot about erasing our tracks. They can follow us easily. And you remember this now? Sasuke scoffed. Idiot. More idiotic than Naruto, at least I remembered. Obito shot back hotly. He sighed and looked towards the three of them. We need to split up. There's 2 of them and 4 of us. But then Sakura started, realizing what splitting up exactly meant. That 2 would probably escape. And that 2 would probably not. Yes, I know. Obito groaned. That's a great idea. Naruto smirked. His hands were placed into a hand seal. Huh! Obito blinked and regarded Naruto. That hand seal. Oh. Why didn't I think of that? Just try to find us, Naruto exclaimed, chakra flowing through his body. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Shadow clone technique. They will if you keep on making that much noise, Sasuke retorted, before getting pushed down at the ground. One of Naruto's shadow clones had formed on him. You did that on purpose, Sasuke muttered in irritation. Did what? The shadow clone said innocently. Sasuke scowled and brushed his pants off as he stood up. He looked around the forest, which was literally filled with clones. Well, Obito's eye widened. The only thing I have to say is that I'm sorry I didn't think of that. Oh, and it's better to have some of them to henge into us. Sometimes shinobi can tell the difference between people, and if we stick together it's a sure sign that we're the real ones. True, Naruto admitted. We'll be caught in 2 seconds if your clones don't keep quiet, Sasuke muttered. Let's just get going already, Naruto retorted, after getting some of his clones to henge into his teammates. The crowd of shadow clones set off, the originals heading off as well. Itachi froze, looking at the hundreds of tracks on the ground. What? Itachi murmured in what could be perceived as shock. This is ridiculous, Kisame muttered. What came through? An army? Jinchuriki have massive amounts of chakra, Itachi noted. It is very possible that this army is nothing more than tangible clones. More importantly, how are we supposed to track them now? Kisame growled, jumping down from the trees to regard the trampled ground. There was no way to tell where the originals went. In fact, there was no way to tell the difference in between the originals' tracks and the clones' tracks. We get outsmarted by an annoying 12-year-old, Kisame muttered. No, Itachi stated. No. We may not be able to track them, but we know exactly where they're going. Konoha, Kisame murmured. Exactly? Itachi nodded, narrowing his eyes. Oh yeah, Naruto smirked. We beat a couple of S-rank ninja without even fighting them. Not necessarily, Obito cautioned. They still might catch up. Yeah, right, Naruto scoffed. We're going to get to Konoha within the day, probably. They're probably chasing after a shadow clone team. Sasuke couldn't resist a slight smirk. Serves you right. But Sakura couldn't stop herself from still being anxious. It's fine, Sakura-chan. Naruto grinned. One problem, though. Obito stopped, looking around at the trees that surrounded them. Anyone know where we are? At? Naruto and Sakura exclaimed in unison. Sasuke sighed in resignment. I'll climb up to try to find out where we are, Naruto decided, gathering chakra in his feet. He walked up the nearest tree. Luckily, these trees weren't too tall. Naruto jumped back down. Trees, and more trees. How useful, Sasuke said sarcastically. Well, you look up there. Naruto snapped in irritation. Sasuke simply rolled his eyes and walked up another tree. He popped his head out from the leaves and looked around. Trees. I suppose Naruto was right. But then again, Since Konoha is the village hidden in the leaves, that makes sense. I suppose the only way to get to Konoha is to follow the path, but I don't know where that is. Sasuke jumped back down. So, did you see anything? Naruto demanded. Sasuke scratched his cheek in embarrassment. No, see? Naruto smirked. Then he pointed towards the direction they came from. Well, since we came from that way, we should go the other way. When we get close to Konoha, we should be able to tell. Obito muttered. There should be some noise, and we can always sense chakra, hopefully. Sakura murmured. Her fists clenched. Why am I so weak? Why can't I ever help? It should work, Naruto said. Sasuke took out a kunai and marked a tree. Let's just make sure that we don't go in circles, agreed. Obito nodded. The four of them started walking forwards. Itachi and Kisame sat down in a tree by the path leading to Konoha. They weren't close enough to Konoha or the path to be easily sensed, but they were close enough to tell if the Jinchuriki passed. How long are we going to have to wait? Kisame muttered. As long as it takes, Itachi said coldly. We cannot fail to capture the Kyuubi this time. In other words, considering the fact that those kids are probably dead slow, we're going to be waiting for ages. Kisame muttered. Yes, most likely. Itachi nodded. Kisame muttered something under his breath and leaned back on the tree trunk. Hey! Naruto blinked. We hit the path. We were going sideways. Obito commented. Hey Naruto, do you have any chakra left? A bit. Naruto said. Why? Enough to make a couple of shadow clones and henge them? Obito demanded. Yeah. Naruto nodded. I see. Sasuke muttered. It isn't over yet. They can still wait on the path to find us. I already knew that. Naruto retorted. He placed his hands into a hand seal and made a few shadow clones. Well, more or less. So, basically, more distractions. Naruto said. Got it. We're going to stay in the forest, right? The path went more or less straight, right? Sakura recalled. She started to walk to the side. Yeah. Naruto nodded. "'Kay. Let's go. We're staying here for 3 days," Itachi said, crouching in the tree. "After that, we accept that we failed for now. 3 days." Kisame groaned. 3. We have enough stuff to eat and drink, but that doesn't change the fact it's going to be dead boring. It's our job, Itachi said, getting into a comfortable position. Kisame sighed and jumped to a different tree. He leaned against the trunk. So, do those 3 days start from now, or did they start from the start of today? Kisame asked. Itachi ignored him and watched the path. I take that as the start of today. Kisame muttered. 3 days of nothing. I hope someone notices us and tries to fight us. At least that'll give me something to do. The girl looked up to the Shinigami. So, very well, the Shinigami stated. I will let Namake's Minato go to the afterlife. Took you long enough, the girl retorted. The Shinigami scoffed. Are you going to let him talk to Naruto? The girl demanded. No, the Shinigami stated. Ah, well, the girl shrugged. It doesn't matter. They'll meet eventually. Out of curiosity, how are you going to exactly get him out of your stomach? Throw up? The Shinigami simply snapped his fingers and a figure appeared beside him. That's useful, the girl commented. What? Minato stammered. What happened? You get to go on to the afterlife, the girl said cheerfully. Bye-bye then. Excuse me? Minato said in confusion. Basically, because of something someone did, you don't have to stay in the Shinigami's stomach for all of eternity, the girl explained. But Minato started to speak. The Shinigami snapped his fingers again, and a blue, glowing hole appeared underneath him. Minato sunk into it and disappeared. Well, that's over with. The girl turned away from the Shinigami. I'll be going now. She glanced over towards the Shinigami one last time. Well, good luck with this place. She took another step and disappeared. The Shinigami sighed. Another few millenniums of boredom. I suppose I can watch Uzumaki Naruto some more. He seems somewhat interesting.